Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and talking about the game Cogs and Commissars. Now, we have here two different copies of it. We have the Collector's Edition and the Standard Edition. Now, this is a game that was published by Atlas Games. It was designed by Matt Haga, and it is for 2 to 6 players, ages 14 and up, and listed as a 30 to 45 minute game. Now, to start with, we need to talk a little bit about our history with this game, because we were sent a pre-production copy to do a preview and tutorial video for of this game. We played it a bunch. We shot a preview and tutorial video for it. This was almost a year ago now. And we're going to have a link to that preview and tutorial video down below. And the reason is we don't want to retread over stuff we've already talked about. So the thing is, we're not going to do a tutorial in this video because the rules have not changed at all between that version and this one. And also, we're going to try not to talk about all the same stuff that we already talked about. We did a really good job in that. Not to toot my own horn, but we did a pretty good job in that preview and tutorial video talking about what we liked and didn't like. And as the rules haven't really changed between then and now, I don't think we need to talk about that. Instead, we're going to talk about things that have changed, which is mainly just production, because that was a pre-production copy. So it was mainly just like printed out and very basic, whereas this is now that we're talking about the production copies. We're going to talk about whether we think it's worth it for you to buy a copy of the collector's edition. We're going to give it a rating because we never gave it a rating back then. And we're going to talk about the player count, the age recommendation, and the time. So let's start with that. Okay. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, again, this is a rather tongue-in-cheek take that card game that is about a robot communist Russian uprising. So it's very funny. It's very silly in its theme. And again, please do go back and watch the preview and tutorial, which we will have a link to in the description down below of this video. We will also have a link in the description to our unboxing if you'd like to see all of the components, because we thoroughly showed all the components in both versions in the unboxing. We don't want to retread that too much. So check those out. I do recommend you check those out, then come back here and watch this. Now, about the 2 to 6 players, as nothing has changed, we did briefly talk about that. We thought it played better at 3 to 4 players. Mm-hmm. I still find 4 players my favorite. I'm willing to go 5. 3 is okay. 4 is my sweet spot on this. Has that changed at all for you? You kind of said you were more willing to play it at 2 players than I was when we talked about it in the preview. Has that changed at all for you, or you?
No, I think it's better at 4 players.
But you're still willing to play it at 2.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you fell in love with this game like right away. Our first play of it, you're like, this is awesome. I love the theme. I love the gameplay. So again, not to rehash too much, but this is a take that card game that somehow is managed to not feel as vicious as older take that card games. It feels less personal. There's never any player elimination, so you don't. And also, there's huge point swings in this. So you never feel out of it, which is really good. These are all really big pluses. And as we talked about in the preview, neither one of us had any real big glaring negatives to talk about. Mm-hmm. My biggest negative was that I didn't really like it as much at 2 players. I prefer it at 3 and 4. But the 14 and up, I think, is an overestimate. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it might be because of the theme.
Okay. But I mean, the theme is not.
No, I think if it is because of the theme, I think it's silly that they would do that. But
I mean, it's not a very complicated game. It's like 4 or 5 pages of rules. It's my opinion is you could play this with people more like maybe 10 and up.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12,
but okay. But you
you
do agree it's an overestimate.
A smart 10-year-old. Handle it.
It really does feel like a overestimate to me. The 30 to 45 minutes is pretty good because it does get longer with more players, so I like that they gave it a nice range like that, but this is a pretty quick game. I would say with a smaller player count, like 3 players, it is much closer to that half an hour mark. It's really quick. So, with all that said, And with all that we already talked about during our preview, and we're going to keep this fairly short so we can get on to the fact that we're going to give a copy of this away to one of you. But we'll get to that in one moment. Let's just get on to our ratings, because we have already spent a lot of time talking about this in the preview video, and I'm going to be boring to rehash it. So, should I go first? Or let me go first, because I think you're going to rate it higher than me, because you adore this game. So for me, I really like the production, the custom inserts to hold all the components. Plus, I really like the collector's edition. I love the wooden discs for all the different citizens. I think the production is really, really nice. I love the magnetic box for the collector's edition, but the regular edition is really great too. I'm going to give this a 7.5 stars. I was wavering a little bit. I was having a little trouble. That's why I had to go into a decimal. Because I wasn't sure where it was. But I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's a year later now. We played the pre-production copy a lot leading up to actually getting our copies of Cogs and Commissars. And I'm giving it a 7.5 because I still really enjoy it. Even though I've played it a bunch, it's still going to come out on game nights a lot. This is a great, lighter middleweight game night game. It's very easy to teach. It's quick to learn. It's fun to play. The theme is hilarious. Anybody who are fans of history will get a chuckle out of the theme, I find.
Trotsky's missing.
Well, my one complaint, yes.
It's disappointing, but not surprising.
That Trotsky's missing?
Yes.
Oh, no. Well, I was going to say, now, the differences between the pre-production and this are really just aesthetics, mostly. They've upgraded some of the artwork. It looks really nice. The production is really good. One actual difference, and it's really just a thematic difference, not a functional game mechanic difference, is that in the pre-production version, they had factions. The factions were all tongue-in-cheek names, half based on something robotic themed, half based on something Russian Communist Revolution themed, like they had the Bolsheviks or the Menschvolks. They replaced all those with leaders for the variable player powers instead of factions, and the leaders now are
I think there's some on the back.
Yeah, there's Compu-Lenin.
The artificial Stalintelligence.
Yeah.
Stalintelligence.
So instead of a faction, it's a leader and a robotic theme. I liked the factions better. I really missed the Bolsheviks. They were hilarious. But that's a minor complaint.
Yeah, and my minor complaint is that out of all the leaders, they didn't include Trotsky. He's my favorite revolutionary. I mean, that's a thing normal people have, right? Favorite revolutionaries?
No.
No?
No, that's not a thing normal. That's a thing you have. That's not a thing. But if you're a fan of history, this is still really cool. My minor complaint does not at all reduce the score of this game. It's a minor complaint. It's a minor gripe. It's just my personal preference. But I really do enjoy this game, which is why I'm giving it 7.5 stars out of 10. The theme is hilarious. The gameplay is fun. It's a take-that-card game without feeling vicious, and I really like it. And I recommend it to you if you enjoy the tongue-in-cheek theme of it or enjoy, history comedy, kind of which is what it is, or take-that-card games and would like to play. Because, there haven't been that many take-that-card games for a long time. Most of them are older and feel really dated. This is like a modern take on a take-that-card game. If you enjoy that, I do recommend it to you. So now, what is your opinion?
Well, I wavered too between an 8 and a 9.
Wow.
So I settled on 8.5.
So you're also going decimal, with the 8.5. Now that's a really high rating. I mean, I'm not that surprised. We played it and I liked it, but you loved it. You were immediately just into this game. So is there anything else other than what I already talked about that was positive that you want to draw attention to?
I don't think so. I think you covered pretty much.
I covered everything you like about it, but you just like everything I like more. Yeah. And I think one of the biggest standouts, in my opinion, is that we can't come up with any real negatives to talk about with this game. We didn't come up with them when we were doing the preview video, and we thought about it again after getting our copies, and we're like, yeah, there's nothing that stands out. We're like, this doesn't work. The only thing I can at all say is I don't like it at 2 players, and that's, minor. I mean, that's many multiplayer games when they throw in a 2-player variant. So, and that's the only thing I could think of. So yeah, so you would definitely recommend it to people too.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Now, I kickstarted this game. I put my money where my mouth was when I said that I really liked it and wanted to have a copy of it for my collection. But I would like to thank Atlas Games for sending me an extra copy of it. They sent me a collector's edition. So I'm going to keep the collector's edition because it's awesome. But the regular copy, which we did unbox, though it's not fully punched out and it's never been played and the cards are all still in their plastic wrap, we're going to give this away to one of you.
Some have been punched out.
Oh, some have been.
Because you wanted to see how easy they punched out.
Some of the components, but all the cards are still in their plastic
all
wrap.
the cards are still in
and
only
a couple of the components have been punched. So it's completely unplayed. This version is completely unplayed, and we're going to give away this copy to one of you. So what you need to do to win a free copy of Cogs and Commissars is you first need to send me an email. My email will be in the description down below, beneath the links to the other videos. Send me an email that, for the subject heading, just says Cogs and Commissars giveaway, and in the body of the email, just have it say your sign-on name to YouTube, and then be subscribed to my channel, like this video, and comment on this video, telling me what other historical period you think would be awesome to have a tongue-in-cheek comedy game themed around. It can be any historical event, any war, anything. You just let me know your opinion. What would be a great historical event or period to have a tongue-in-cheek comedy game based around like this with the Russian Revolution? And you will be entered to randomly win this copy of Cogs and Commissars. I will respond to you via email for whoever randomly wins to get your address and send you this copy totally free of Cogs and Commissars. So there you have it. I thoroughly, whether you want to enter the contest or not, I hope you give this video a like and you share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelt with a K on YouTube. And the drawing will happen at 12 noon Central Time on the date that I'm going to put on the screen right here, right now. And have your email and your comment in before then to qualify for the contest. And until next time, game on.